This is KCCK's Culture Crawl. I'm Dennis Green, and my guest today is Mike McMann, who is here as part of his band, Ten of Soul, which is week number 3 of Jazz Under the Stars. Hard to believe. We are halfway through the month already and halfway through our concerts, but we've had 2 great ones headed into this and looking forward to starting back over from where we began last year.
That's right.
With Ten of Soul. Because talk about all dressed up and no place to go. You guys were on stage, had just finished the sound check, and we looked to the west, and there was a wall cloud pretty much headed for us.
Yeah, it wasn't going to happen.
So we had to. You were the inaugural feat on the brand new mobile stage.
Yeah, we touched the stage, so that was good.
But that's about it.
That's it.
We're able to get you guys back, so we appreciate you giving us another chance.
Oh, likewise, we were happy to accept the second invitation. So
and looking forward again to seeing Ten of Soul. So of course, we were talking before we went on the air that we're just really kind of going back over everything that we talked about last year. But since it's been a year.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about how the band got started.
Basically, well, it was 5 years ago this month, I guess, that we had our very first gig. But, a little bit before that, I was playing in different groups and had played with some really great musicians and just always kind of wanted to have my own band. Not really my own band, but I wanted to start a band that would play soul music, funk music, and feature a lot of like the horn band tunes and everything. And of course, for anybody out there that knows me and knows I'm a trombone player, I'm like the punchline of how does a trombone player get gigs? It's you start your own band, right? So for anybody that knows me as a trombone player, they're probably saying that right now. But it was just kind of one of those groups that I wanted to put together so that people could come and just enjoy themselves and dance and hear music done with a full horn section and just kind of the way maybe they remembered or the way they grew up with. So.
What are some of the artists? Well, let's start with what are some of the artists that inspired you to dig this music? To start with.
Oh man, there's obviously as a horn player, the bands like Earth, Wind and Fire, Chicago, Tower of Power, and really a lot of the music from that era incorporated horns anyway. So I kind of gravitated towards that anyway. Stevie Wonder and all of that extra, added horn influence that they had in that music was pretty much what got me down that path anyway.
But then, of course, you went in the direction of playing jazz and becoming a band director.
Correct.
In your career, but that music must have been formative to your soul, I guess, because it had to be one of the things that kind of starts you on the path of wanting to be a musician.
Yeah, and really, I mean, since my bachelor's degree was music ed. I mean, it was all the music education classes, and I was involved in both the classical and the jazz side. And then when I went into my master's degree in pursuing jazz pedagogy, then you start digging into jazz a little bit, and you just kind of see the broad influence that jazz has anyway. So a lot of the players that you would hear playing on these recordings were jazz artists.
Oh, sure.
It's just that they would employ themselves out to different artists, and it's just the ties go everywhere.
I first heard David Sanborn on a Bruce Springsteen album.
Yeah,
I first heard Wayne Shorter on a Steely Dan album.
Yeah. And I think Billy Joel, was it Phil Woods that he had play a saxophone solo on one of his tunes?
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a whole bunch of different connections. So it's easy to see how that you can go any direction, really, but for me, it was down that path.
And, it's hard to find somebody who doesn't love soul and funk music, regardless of their background. It couldn't have been too difficult to recruit some musicians who wanted to play the music and play it well.
Yeah, it was easy and really I'm really lucky because everybody in the band, like I couldn't ask for a better group of people to not only perform with but just to hang with. I mean, when we get together, whether it's at a rehearsal or at a performance, we just have fun. There's a really good kind of family vibe, and I think that translates to the audience because they see us having fun on stage, like sincere, genuine fun on stage and enjoying playing with each other, and that just kind of, I think, bleeds into the audience a little bit, and they have a little bit more fun too.
Talking with Mike McMann of Ten of Soul, who will be up on August 17th for Jazz Under the Stars, and you're going to be performing at kind of an auspicious occasion for us, as it'll also be a little retirement celebration for Gordon Paulson, who retired recently after 37 years at KCCK. So we're going to let everybody fill up on cake and punch, and then come over and boogie with Ten of Soul.
You're going to save some for the band, though, right? Is there going to be a separate?
Yeah, there'll be special cake. There will be cake for the band. Right. No, the cake is a lie. There'll be cake for the band. You can't do a soul band. I mean, obviously, you want to have the right horn charts. Mm-hmm. And do you do most of the arranging yourself?
Yep.
So you write the horn charts.
Yep.
But your vocalists are also key. Let's be honest. You got to have the right singers.
Our vocalists are. Yeah, that's their kind of case in point of I'm how lucky I feel that of our personnel in the band. I mean, the way that they connect with the audience and make each performance personal, no matter what the venue is. I mean, we could be playing, in a club. We could be out in a sit-down concert hall. I mean, it doesn't matter where we are. They bring the audience in and I mean, obviously they're amazing singers. I mean, they're the best. But I think some of the things that make them even better are what I was just mentioning, just being able to relate to the crowd and connect with them. And that's not always the case. I think sometimes you might see groups that will they'll play their music and sing their music, but our vocalists will actually go out into the crowd. If it's a horn tune and they're taking a break, they don't really take a break because they go out into the crowd and kind of talk to the people, maybe get them up and dance and everything. So it's that extra dimension that they add is just awesome.
So it's important to be the host to the party.
Yeah.
As well as singing with the band.
Yeah, they're awesome. I love them.
Do you add new stuff to the repertoire occasionally?
Yeah, we do. I mean, the difficult thing is because we have 11 people. I mean, the name is Ten of Soul, but we added an 11th.
They've cranked it up to 11.
That's right. Our amps go up to 11. You bet. So there's a lot of us in the group, and getting the schedules to work so that we can maybe throw in a rehearsal here and there can be kind of a challenge. But really, when we do stuff, I'll get the charts written out and I'll send them out to everybody. And then sometimes, in fact, most of the time anymore, we will just read through the tune at a sound check. And it's usually gone pretty well, and then we'll just throw it into the gig and see what happens there.
We all can think, of course, of kind of the classic soul and funk tunes. I mean, obviously, your Stevie Wonders, your Tower of Power, all the stuff that we've loved forever. Well, what's new in the repertoire that you've maybe brought into the band?
Well, Bruno Mars has really gotten. I mean, he's such an entertainer, and he's got some really, really hip music out there, and so we've thrown a couple of his in there. We've got our own kind of arrangement of Dream On, the Aerosmith tune, which is not a new tune, but as far as kind of moving it into the soul genre, it's a little bit more of a sidestep. Let's see some of the other things that we're doing. And I can't, of course, now I'll think of about 10 other ones once the interview's over. But right now I'm kind of blanking. But we try to keep it up to date so that we can relate to all ages in the crowd and stuff like that.
Talking with Mike McMann from Ten of Soul. Well, we're looking forward, after our false start last year, of having Ten of Soul at Jazz Under the Stars coming up on August 17th. Hope you'll join us in Knowledge Park. We've got a brand new location for the band shell, just a little bit to the southwest. It's been a perfect setup. We've actually, if anything, we're gathering the crowd a little bit more around the band shell a little bit, so that they're a little more focused on the stage. So I think that will work okay, and there's plenty of room on the grass to dance.
Excellent.
So if you're going to do that, if you're into that, this is the concert you want to come to, I think.
Definitely.
Mike, thanks again for stopping in today.
My pleasure.
And look forward to seeing you on Thursday.
We're really looking forward to it.
Mike McMann from Ten of Soul, coming up next at Jazz Under the Stars.